Hello, it's Numerologist Glynis Mccants. As promised, doing another live event to help you with your life. We're going to talk about a couple things happening in the world right now and my numerology take on it. And then we're going to answer some questions. Some people who actually submitted them from the Facebook page, we were able to pull a couple of those. I'm going to give some names. And if anyone in that group is interested in getting on camera to talk to me, that's a possibility because Vanessa's here to help. We'll bring Vanessa on for just a moment to say hello.
Hi, everybody.
Yep. So Vanessa's going to be there to help us. But let's talk about it. So in the newsletter, I did talk about what is October in numerology. And I said it's the month of one, but also that it has that zero that promotes that intuitive voice, right? Going with that instinct, knowing the truth and not denying it. And then we have the world number 2023. Break it down. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. And 7's all about spirituality. I said this year, a couple things. I said Mother Nature would speak her mind and there was no way you could ignore her. Well, we've seen weather like we've never witnessed. Everything's been record breaking. But the other one was faith. You know, the 7 energy, that's the one who asks those big questions. Why are we here? What's this all about? And finding a true base of faith to believe in. Now, the shadow side of that is to say, okay, my faith is right and whatever you believe is wrong. And there's no way we can survive with that idea. So right now, we all know about the attack. Even if you were hiding under a rock, you'd still know about the attack from Hamas in Israel. And also, you know, the whole thing going on with Palestine, the Palestinians, Israel, and people have all these opinions on who's right, who's wrong, who should suffer, who shouldn't. But the fact is, Hamas is a terrorist group. And I have to believe we can agree on one thing, that when old women, like you got your grandma, right? The elderly women, these little kids and babies get killed, there's no way any of us can agree that's okay. None of us can say it's okay. You can't say, well, gee, the babies in my life and my grandparents, they're great, but those people, they deserve to die. So yes, my heart is broken. My prayers are with them. And again, I believe most of you would agree with that. And I'm asking all of us to just disconnect from our judgment, our position of what we think is right, which faith is correct, who else should pay. We need to let go of it so we can get through this crisis. And of course, we all know we've been dealing with Ukraine and Russia. So there's a lot of drama going on. And people say to me, Glynis, what can I do about it? I can honestly say a couple things. One, you can certainly give to charities, right? Pick a charity that's actually going to help these people in need. But the other thing is go to prayer. If you have faith, pray on this. No, we don't need the insanity. It's almost as if we as a society have become addicted to chaos. And yet I know other people, and many of you as my followers, you get so drained by it. You don't want this negativity, this ugliness, this rage, this hatred. Okay. So, yes, I believe a shift is going to take place. And more importantly, I want you to focus on yourself. I said that the one is about looking at your life. What's going on with you? How are you doing physically? How are you doing mentally? What's going on with you emotionally? What can you do to improve your life? There's something you can do. I'm going to tell my own story on that note. This month, I got to go to a class reunion with my husband, and we had to do a lot of flying, and it was just kind of nuts. And I said to myself, you know, I'm not going to let myself get lost in the craziness of a schedule. I'm going to commit to doing no less than 5 miles a day of walking. So, you know, I have my little Fitbit, and 5 miles ultimately is around 11 to 12,000 steps a day. And I did it every single day, as I've been doing it today as well. And why am I doing it? Because again, the one gets back to you. Are you living in your body? Are you stuck at work? Are you just living on a computer and you don't even you have no chance to move around? You know, I talk about people, they're like, I just need to decompress. And what do they do when they decompress? They just get on a couch and watch television, right? So this is a month of movement. Anything you can do to keep your physical body moving, it's a great idea. So also consider that. And then the spiritual side. If you're maybe you don't have any faith and you have the right, you know, maybe you were raised by parents that were obsessed and try to shove religion down your throat, and you want none of it. That's fine. But now it's your turn to go, well, what do I believe? Like, what could bring me more joy? This is a great month to focus on that as well. All right. So those are my suggestions, because I know we can get us to a calmer place, but it's going to take world consciousness. It's not going to just take, well, you only can start with you, right? So wherever you are, if you're making things better around you, like deliberately going out there to compliment someone, you see someone who needs help with their groceries, you just help them. You see someone who maybe you paid forward, right? You're in line before someone else and you buy their coffee or whatever it is they're buying. This is what I'm talking about. Do what you can to lift the vibration. Being the numbers lady, dealing in the science of numerology and vibration, we need to lift it, because our vibration right now is pretty low. It's pretty low, and we've got to do what it takes to bring it back up. All right. Okay, so let me go over to my people. I'm going to click on comments. Lots of people coming through. Hi, Brenda, Angela, Sharon, Keith, Jody, Cheryl, Carrie, Angela, all kinds of people coming through. Do always, you should post. And remember, if you have a specific question, you got to put your date of birth. I cannot just answer. People always think I can. They're like, oh, but Glynis, you're so good. It doesn't matter how good I am. My tool is numerology. My tool are those birth numbers. But once I have it, sure, my third eye is wide open and I can help you. All right. So there are some people that had been promised to get answers to their questions, and I want to cover some of those as well. I'm going to bring Vanessa in just in case she has something she needs to tell you. Go ahead, Vanessa.
I do. I want to remind everyone that Glynis had this quick promo, and the promo was if you purchased on the website, send us that purchase number, then and with a question, that's where these are coming from. So we're getting a lot of people that are saying, I sent you my question earlier today, and that kind of thing. We want to let you know this was a special promo that she does. So if you're hoping to do something like that in the future, be sure to be part of those. She'll do a flash sale. They're about 48 hours. And so these questions that she's going to answer, not all of them, but the ones that she is focused on right now, it was because they were part of this promo. So I just want to let everyone know that, because we have gotten a lot of emails and even comments tonight saying the same thing.
And again, although I'm going to answer some of these questions, I will definitely be answering questions that are also being posted right now. So if you are someone who did not purchase a numerology reading report, go ahead and post your question here. Vanessa and I will be plowing through them, okay? Because that's what it's all about. All right. So the first one I'm going to grab, what's interesting is that her blueprint is not here. Vanessa, you could give me these 3 numbers if I gave you a name, correct? So I'm going to ask you.
Yeah, I'm related to a numerologist.
Yes. I've seen Vanessa. Sometimes I'll catch her on a corner with lemonade, but she's really doing readings. She's got this little turban. I'm like, you know what? I see what you're doing, Vanessa. But anyway, her name is Karen. Yeah. Karen Vander Kolk. That gal. KarenVanderKolk. I need the 3 numbers for that name.
999.
Oh, wow. That's powerful. Okay. And then born. All right. So I'm going to simply say her birthday is 3/29/1949. You want to type that in, Banny? 3/29/1949?
10/1.
And then she's a 1 life path, but born on a 2 day and has a 5 attitude. So here was her question. She said, Glynis, will I always be alone? I've been by myself for 20 years. Well, the first thing I want you to know, whatever we focus on is what we get, right? So your fear is, look, if it's been 20 years, it's going to be forever. It's not the case. My favorite story is my mother-in-law. She was single forever because she focused on raising her sons. But then she met a man named Frank later in life, and they ended up getting married at age 81. It was amazing. It's the cutest couple ever. They went on trips all the time. They wanted the cruise trips and they went to different countries. They had the best time until Frank passed away. So it doesn't matter when, Karen, but you have to be proactive. Okay. You have to put yourself out there. Dating sites, I'm a fan because I did pick Charlie through a dating site. But also, I want to say you have high standards. You're not going to settle for just anyone. Let's be honest. Born on a 2 day, the 2 is the party that's very loving, like wants a bond. But your 5 attitude means, hey, if I burn out, I'm out the door. I don't even want to be here. And then you're a 1 life path. So again, what I have found, this has been a real pattern in the 1 life path when it comes to love. I've also often seen them praise their partner. Oh, I just love him. He's so wonderful. And then one day it's over. I'm like, wait, what? They're like, yeah, I was so unhappy. I'm like, you sure made me think you were happy. So, Karen, you can do this, but I want you to find someone as a natural match. Keep it as simple. 157 are the mind numbers. That's very much a part of you. This has to be a cerebral person, intelligent. And then the 3 would be sense of humor. You definitely have a sense of humor. So someone has to be playful and likes to laugh. So 157, let's keep you in that genre, right? Let's keep you with those numbers. Possibly the number 2. I just don't know if the 2 would be strong enough for you, right? Because the 2 is a loving energy. Maybe it's someone born on a 2-day like you, so that there is affection and a connection, but you definitely need that independent energy as well. So in answer to your question, yes, you can have love. You're in a personal year of 3 right now. If you're proactive, you can make it happen this year. So again, dating sites. I am a firm believer, and you tracking me down. Once you meet him, we'll run those numbers. We'll run that chart, and we'll see if that person's worth it. Okay? Yes. All right. That was one. Here's another one. Mary Ann Strickens, date of birth, 2/19/1996. Excuse me, 1966. She was excited about the opportunity for a live read if the stars align. She said, please, she wanted to know, will my daughter be happy, healthy, and free? Or is there another career in my future? So I'm going with career, because I realize moms love to do that, right? When you love your child, like you just want them to be happy, and you figure if they're happy, you'll be happy. I'm not a fan of that, because each one of us is coming through it with their own life experience. We cannot control what kind of life our kids have. Yes, we should cheerlead them. Yes, we should encourage them, but we have to set the example. So if you are happy, Marianne, that's going to make a huge difference. So yeah, I want you to be happy too. So your numbers are, and Vanessa, what if you could turn this into a ticker tape? Let's try that. I'm throwing Vanessa in. Banning. If I give you her numbers, you're going to make it into a ticker tape
I can do
for
that.
a moment, and then you'll go back to the other. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So the numbers are 47217 with a star /3 attitude. 47217 with a star /3 attitude. So we'll see if we can get that up so that everyone watching can see it. All right. Let's see what that means. I can't even imagine what that means. Of course, I notice these things. Look at this. This person wrote, cat, stop it. That's interesting. Cat, stop it. Don't know what that means. But there, I see Miss Cat Ladies there, so maybe that has a part of it. But either way, back to my bigger point, and was hoping for those numbers to be on board here. But again, Marianne, you asked another kind of career. We talked about writing, right? Because we wrote you back and said, hey, well, what are you considering? Because that's how numerology works. It's not as simple as saying, what career should I do? I don't believe in that. Look, sure, I can tell you what certain life path numbers do well at, but sometimes you feel called to something else. It could be your soul number that you're trying to fulfill. So I often say, give me 3 options and I'll tell you the best one by the numbers. So in this case, Marianne, it's writing. Writing would be amazing. Born on a 1-day, 7 life path, very cerebral. You know, the 7 has the ability to observe everything out there, to observe what's going on. And because you have that gift, you're able to write about it. You're able to share that story with us. As a matter of fact, you have double 7. You also have that number 2 for your sensitivity, right? The 2 is extremely sensitive. So maybe it could be about relationships, right? Or a mystery. But the bottom line is the 2 feels deeply. That means you have memories from your past you're never going to forget. And then ultimately, that 3 attitude, able to find the humor. Like no matter how negative or upsetting it was, you still found your sense of humor. You still found a way to bring back the laughter. So that should be a part of your writing as well. So that's my answer for you. Thank you for the question. Now I'm going to bring Vanessa on for just a moment because we are going to talk about potentially having someone on camera. Hold on. Vanessa, let's talk about that.
Okay. I do want to clarify, though. You did see the numbers, right?
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And I read them too. I said the 7, 7, the 2, the 3, and that was all on board for them.
Right. I understood that. I thought but for some reason, I thought you said I was hoping to see the numbers. I thought,
in that moment, I had not seen them yet. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tell them about the potential, Vanny, because they're going to have to move quickly if they do it.
Okay. So one of our... Yeah, I would say, Glynis, if you have someone that you want to do their reading right now, if they jump in at the bottom here, and then I'll know and I can immediately send them the link.
Well, I'm going to give a couple names that are allowed to. Darla, your name's Darla. So Darla.
Yeah, because you have over 100 people viewing you, but they don't necessarily write in, right? So I don't know if they're there.
That's not my point. You see right now, guys, where it says numbercity.com and it says email Glynis at numbercity.com. Just shoot an email to Vanessa if you're one of the people who submitted the question,
right,
who purchased a reading, and we'll pull you in. But anyway, Jeanine Lineback. She's another one I'll be answering. And then Pamela. So those are the 3 left in this group. And then, of course, I'm going to deal with people in our audience. And I'm going to do something I never do. Are you ready, Vanessa? I'm going to shock you, Vanny. I'm going to be more like you, sister. I did it.
I did it.
Just like you. All right. The reason I'm doing that is I want to see some of these people or some.
Yeah, but look at those glasses. They're fabulous.
Well, they got red. Look, Vanny.
I love them. Oh, I see them, honey. I see them.
Okay, let's see.
Funny story, everybody that's on here. I was at Glynis's helping her with something, and I go, "Hey, these are my glasses." She goes, "Oh, they are. They're really cute."
Yeah, I snaked them. Yeah, okay, so we see Jeanine, Vanessa, Jeanine Lineback. So what I can do is certainly answer her question, which I will do right now.
Okay.
All right. And then you just keep an eye, shoot Vanessa an email.
Yes.
If you're camera savvy, you know how to look cute. Look at how we look, throwing a little lipstick. If you're a dude, shave really fast. Anyway, you want to be cute and we'll help you. All right. But just shoot an email and Vanessa and I will pull you on camera.
Yeah.
You'll get a reading in real time.
Yes.
All right. So Jeanine, I'm going to click on it. She just says hi all. That's all she's got there. So Vanessa, again, I just want you to put these numbers in the ticker. So it's Jeanine 88731 with a */7 attitude. And then Chris, which was her girlfriend, and they just, they broke up a long time ago, but they have this strong connection and it feels stronger than ever. And she wants some insight about that. And Chris's numbers are 51657 with a */8 attitude. All right. So I'm going to go like this. Natural. Okay. All right. There are the numbers. So let's talk about that. I'll tell you briefly some of the stuff she said. She was just explaining how they were together in like 1988 through 1995. Now I'll take these off and be my glamorous self. 1988 to 1995. And then they broke up and it was very hard, but then they reconnected. It's like they keep reconnecting in their life. And Jeanine wants to understand why that is. And is this relationship worth revisiting? Now in numerology, I'm checking to see what they share in common. They share the number 8. They share the number 7. And they share the number 1. So that gives them a very strong connection. I always say if one of the numbers is coming from an attitude number, it's those primary numbers that I call soulmate connection. And it just means good or bad when it's over. It's never really over. So that's one of the reasons, Jeanine, that you keep reconnecting. But you also really started talking again in 2022. And I believe the pandemic played a major role in that because people's lives stopped in a way we never dreamed they could. We all are in the treadmill of life, just trying to make goals happen, whatever we were focused on, right? We're so busy, we can't really reconnect with people. But during that pandemic, we had a moment to say, who do I care about? Like, who in my past do I want to see? And that's why I think it happened. But now you're talking about potentially being together again. And you want my opinion. So my concern, this is how it goes. There are 6 numbers that make up our blueprint. If you have 1 or 2 challenge numbers, it means you can agree to disagree. If you have 3 challenge numbers, it means you're both going to have to work hard on the relationship. And if you have 4 or more, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? So the way your numbers break down, it's literally challenge, 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 compatible, natural match, challenge. So Jeanine, you have 4 challenge numbers out of 6. Now what that promotes is chemistry. Because when we have a breakdown in communication, it often brings us to being physical, right? Physical. Now, in a healthy way, sure, we could say that's sexual, great chemistry. In an unhealthy way, it means physically violent. When I counsel people that end up getting in fights or, getting hit, which I don't believe any of that happened with you, but I'm not surprised there was a breakdown in communication. And I know that your heart was broken last time. So you just have to consider it would take a lot. Like even Chris's destiny numbers are 3, your destiny numbers are 4. Again, that's considered a challenge. So I want you to know that you are very capable of having a love relationship. And if you choose to explore this relationship again with Chris, this time you just have to be really aware. You have to be aware of what worked and what didn't, and then see what you want to do. But if you find, because your life path, the fact that it's a natural match, that goes a long way. Our natural match life path is what you want because it means when you get stressed out, it's often you share something, like you have it in common how you handle it. But you were still blindsided. So that tells me you got to be careful. And that's what you're going to do. That's my suggestion. And what else? It looks like you have a 7 attitude, if I'm reading that right. See, my assistant ran the numbers and she did put a line through it, which I have no idea why she did that. But that would put you in a cycle of 5. So I'm going to double check that birthday because I highlighted. Yep, that's true for you, Jeanine. You are in a personal year 5. 5 means it's not the best time for a relationship, right? It's more a time to work on you. What can you do to be happy? What can you do? What can you do that's fun, right? So look at this as a time to have fun. And since it happened, it was 2022 that you were connecting, you were in a cycle of 4, which was better to consider this relationship, okay? And what else? Cycle-wise, because she has an 8 attitude, she's in a personal year of 6. And 6 means she should have a stronger idea of what she wants, like wanting to explore this again. So bottom line, you share enough, you have enough in common that explains why you still care about each other. But this time you just have to be aware what works, what doesn't. Because the whole point, Jeanine, about understanding each other's numerology, if we really understand each other's blueprint, we can find ways to agree to disagree. But I'm not going to deny this, dear, because I've done this forever, over 50,000 reads at this point. 4 challenge numbers out of 6 means it's a lot of work. It's not just easy. And I know like last year, it felt pretty easy, which was nice for you. But if you really got together, some of the stuff that came up that didn't make it work last time may resurface. All right. You asked and you got it, but you're also going to get a soulmate breakdown from us that will lay out everything. So you can just study the positive and negatives, what you have in common, where you're different. And I wish you nothing but the best because I know I've dealt with you before. I think you've done workshops. I know you love numbers. So I'm rooting for you. Thanks for your question. All right. Okay. So now let's see if Vanessa's getting any emails coming through. Oh, there's somebody. So this is one of the gals that had a question. I have to find, did I say her name? Because I have a gal named PJ. Oh, here she is. All right. Let's go ahead. We'll put Vanessa on the stage a minute because she is rather cute. She's muted. Muted. All right, go ahead.
So this is Marianne, and Marianne is so excited to be here.
Except one thing. No offense to Marianne, but I answered her question.
Marianne Strukens?
Yeah, she asked, I talked about writing, and I said she should do that.
Okay, well, just finish it up.
Finish it up. Well,
Cheers
I'm pulling
for
her in
the
because she's
live.
there. I'll go. Here I go. Marianne, did you hear me answer your question?
I did. Thank you. And I wanted to just say your Love by the Numbers book is freaking amazing. It changed my life. So thank you. And you did answer my question.
And what about love? Did you find somebody through the book?
Well, it found me.
Yes, of course, but you still got ready through the book. So tell me about
exactly. So, okay, so I had connected with you before I actually engaged in a relationship with this person because I'd been making bad decisions for my whole entire life.
Right.
And when I met this guy, ran the numbers through you, and you gave me all the right answers. I bought the book, and now anybody that is interested in a relationship, I say, get this book and run these numbers. But this relationship has been a game changer for me. I am so happy.
Yes.
And not just because of him, but because of who we are together. So
and that's the mark of a good relationship. Do you have the 6 numbers so I can look at them next year's? Just for everybody listening, or do you not know them?
I don't have
them. Okay, you don't have to run around knowing the whole blueprint. But what's the date of birth? Do you know that?
Yeah, February 23rd, 1962.
Okay, wait. February 23rd, 1962. So born on a 5-day, 7 life path. So born on 5-day, 7 life path, right? So natural match to you. And then 7 attitudes. So I don't have the name numbers, but I will say one thing. Look, when you got those natural match going, it's so wonderful. It means you have enough in common that you really enjoy each other. I have to believe that you have adventures together, right?
Ridiculous.
Right? It's like, let's go places, let's do things. And your energy level is similar that way. It's like when you have these experiences, you're so happy. Now, one thing I'll say, because he has a 7 attitude, he still has some mystery, but I think you like that. I think you like to not know a whole story. Does that make sense?
Oh, of course.
Yeah. I mean, if this guy was a pushover and just crazy in love with you, you'd be like, oh, get me out of here. I can't.
Right. I'd run him over.
You would. You're like, no, I can't do this. But this guy, there's just so much happening. I mean, when I talk about the mind numbers 157, I always call them human popcorn machines. Well, you both have it. So that means it's never a dull moment.
No, it's brilliant.
Okay, well, I'm thrilled for you. But still, what about the writing?
Okay, so I don't know. I've had so many people say to me, and it's uncanny, and people that have been writing professionally that have said, you need to write. And so.
But that means you naturally do write, correct? Like when you type up a story, you're very, when you have those numbers, you're an observer. You see the whole story. So it's not hard to present it. So what would you do though? Because I told you you'd have to provide some hope in that story as well. Would you go to fantasy or reality?
Reality.
Good. Well, then it has to be of even love. How about the fact that you finally got it right? How are you not going to cover some of that? The point is you're going to talk about maybe your own life experience, some stuff you've been through, and how you can turn it around. Because if you didn't keep looking for tools to change your life, you'd still be stuck.
Yes. Dead.
Yeah. And miserable. You'd be going, what the heck kind of life is this? Why is it so limiting? But now it's not. It's like there's nothing you can't do. So thank you for sharing your testimonial. And by the way, as Vanessa knows, this is a running gag, but I've been working on the audiobook of Love by the Numbers because that's a 336-page book. But I'm telling you, as I read it, I'm like, I love this book so much. You know, love is everything to me. Helping people find it. Anyone who knows me knows it's true. But the audio, once it's ready, we'll let you know because you're going to want that in the car. Magic.
Absolutely.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Yeah.
You take good care. You're welcome.
You too.
Thank you. All right, let's hit remove and pull Vanessa in. How about that audiobook, Benny Sue?
meant to be that just now, right?
Oh, totally. No, she's
Yeah.
adorable. What I love the most, though, Vanessa, because she's got that 1-7, they are selective. They're not going to be with just anybody. And the fact that she was proactive, she started to learn, through love by the numbers, but the science of numbers, how do I get it right? And she did it for herself, and she's got great love. Yay. Now, speaking of great love, people don't know this, but Vanessa's birthday is tomorrow. Vanessa, October 12th. So on that note, it's going to be hard for me to do this, but here I go. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear amazing Vanessa. Happy birthday to you. And you already know what your gift is, but it was mailed. So get happy about that.
I got a receipt.
You did?
Like I got an email saying it's on its way.
Yeah. Awesome, right, Benny?
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. So I'm really glad we talked to her, and I'm so excited about the future that she has and the magic. Okay, so that's the other thing. People quit on love, right? Their heart gets hurt. They're like, I don't want to try anymore. And I say, don't you ever, ever give up, because love is within you. So that when I say the affirmation, love is within me, it flows out into the universe and comes back to me in abundance. So your level of love is what you can attract. And that's why I said, don't give up because someone broke your heart, ever. All right. So if you have someone else pop in, Vanessa, let us know. I'm going to click her out and I'm back, and let me start looking through my list again. Okay. Let's see. Yes. Okay. So this gal's asking, her name's Geofade, which I don't know that that's really her name, but she said, I bought your book, studying them. Do you do workshops? Of course I do. I teach workshops online. I teach workshops in person. As a matter of fact, make sure you're signed up for the newsletter, because I think I'm going to do an online numerology workshop 11/11. It's a magic number. It's a good day to do it. So you will know, and that's a month away. So yes, the answer is yes. All right. Let me go like this. And I'll keep going. Remember, when you have your question, put your date of birth. And this was, I want to go ahead and grab just right from the board. I'm being flagged by Vanessa's hands got really big. Hold on. Yes.
So we have a couple of people that have emailed, and they said they would love to be on if they're welcome to it. The ones that we gave their names and said,
no, that's fine.
Okay,
I've got a couple left here, and that's fine. But again, I'd like them to make an effort because they're on camera. As Marianne.
No, I have a person who's like, I would love to be on. So.
And they need to be video savvy.
Yes, I believe they are. So,
okay, perfect. So
I'm going to invite.
I'll keep an eye. I'm going to go back to these people real quick, and I'll keep an eye on you. Thank you. Okay. Oh, let's see. Well, okay. So here's an example of a question someone would ask me. Should I have back surgery? Jody, when you ask a question like that, you're talking about someone like, example, my knee went out on me years ago and I was hobbling. And my husband was like, Glynis, you need to get knee surgery. And I'm like, Charlie, I'm not doing that. Something's upset me and it's gone into my knee. So I bought a recumbent bike and I got on it. And for 15 minutes a day, I would ride that bike and I'd say, I walk, bend, and flex with ease. I walk, bend, and flex with ease. And I did it over and over, gently talking to me and my knee. And I overcame it. Like, I walk beautifully, no knee pain whatsoever. But I went through that. And I've gone through other pains in my life, in my body. And I always look at it from a point of view of, okay, what's really going on with me? So back surgery, Jody, I don't know where it is in your back. I don't know if it's lower back. That's often issues with money, upset about finance, worried about the future, not having security. If it's upper back, it could be you're not feeling supported by the people in your life and you're in all kinds of pain. So, let me think. What would I say to you? All negative thoughts. Would it be that one? Which one would I give you for when it comes to just financial? I believe in infinite abundance and my needs are always met. I think we have that right now on this YouTube channel. If you go look at, it's called a YouTube short. I offered an affirmation that's about prosperity. you could take a look at that. I would start doing something for that if it's lower back. But if it's upper back, it's about attracting better people into your life. Okay, so let me look. This is fun. All right. Some people, again, this goes back to what we believe, what is our faith, but most of us can agree the universe is out there, right? So if you say, I'm a child of the universe and abundance is my birthright, I am a child of the universe and abundance is my birthright, all is well in my world. So I am a child of the universe and abundance is my birthright and all is well in my world. So write that down. And for people listening, you can always hit rewind and go back to that affirmation, but just start talking to yourself, talking to your body. Yes, I've had people have surgery. Like one guy, it got so bad. He was in great pain. He couldn't even get out of bed. Well, of course, I encouraged the surgery for him and he did have it and it was successful. But I've also had bad stories about back surgery, right? So it's all about your state of mind and the surgeon, but try affirmations first. See what that does to help you. And thank you for your question. Plus, Jody, for the record, you didn't give me a date of birth, so I don't know what cycle you're in. There are certain personal year cycles we're in, and I would never endorse surgery in those cycles. So you can put your date of birth there, but that's what's up. I'm going to go ahead and hide that. And let's see. I want to make sure, hold that thought. So let's see. Again, I want to be clear. When you submitted questions today, like Vanessa said, had you not ordered like a numerology blueprint, a reading report, or an Are We Soulmates report, you won't necessarily get an answer to your question, right? Because this is, well, first of all, it's free. It's a YouTube event. And I'm answering questions that were promised. But by all means, you can submit it in here. And if I come across it, I will do what I can to answer it. So I'm going to say this quickly. This is a gal who goes by PJ Nibwit. Okay. Date of birth. Let's look for that date of birth. 3/22/1953. So Vanessa, if you could write this down in the ticker tape. Name numbers 37147 with a star /7 attitude. But birth certificate name, let's see if you can do this, Vanessa. 37147 with a star /7 attitude. Birth certificate name gives us 933. So I love this question. She's saying to me, when she was a little kid, at 5 years old, my mother remarried. Okay. So she knows what she was born as. She gives her that name, gives the date of birth. She says, but then my mother dropped the last name of the birth certificate name, right, when she got married. And then she took on a last name, which was Parker. But then she found out at age 18 that the birthday she was celebrating was not a real birthday. Just imagine that. You're 18 years old, and you find out she's been celebrating 3/21, but she was really born on 3/22. And then she's telling me, but you know what's weird? The birth date that's considered not correct is the one that resonates with me. Like she resonates with the 3 and the 6 energy, which is what that is, by the way. It adds up to a 3 and then it gives you a 6 life path, judging by this birthday. Okay. Well, what I loved about that, when people, let's say someone passes away, like they have a near-death experience, they die and then they come back, they often change their birthday. Like they start to celebrate the day they came back. And they take on the traits of those numbers. Well, that's the same idea. For 18 years, you experienced energy and it resonated with you. It became the truth. It was vibration that you knew. And to suddenly change it, you can't relate to those numbers. That is not uncommon. Not to mention your birth certificate name is 933. So imagine this. That would make you 933, born on the 3 days, 6 life path, 7 attitudes. So you'd still have 1/7, but you'd lose a lot of the energy. So my answer, I'd embrace the birthday that I believe was my birthday. Yes, I would. 3/21/1953. It's energy that makes sense to you. It's energy that resonates with you. And that's why, because you grew up celebrating. It's just like when someone's adopted and maybe they don't know their birthday, but they get a birth date. And sure enough, they take on the traits of the vibration. Okay, that's my answer. And thank you for submitting it. And then one more real quick. Darla. Darla says, well, she was asking about career. So Vanessa, if you can put these numbers out there. Ready? The name she goes by, Darla Porterfield. We don't have to put that. You just put Darla. But it's 92272 with a star /7 attitude. 92272 with a star /7 attitude for Darla. So Darla, the first thing I want to tell you is I love these numbers because they actually point you towards being intuitive and able to help others. But also, the 2 is love and feeling deeply, but the 7 has that ability to step back and observe. So guess what? You gave me some career options for you because you were wondering, should you start a new career? Counseling, nursing, and then acting auditions. And you said that because you live in, I guess, Hollywood. And you thought, why not? You're not going to limit yourself with age because you were born 9/25/1957. But here's my answer to that. You'd be amazing at counseling, like amazing, very easy for you to help people. And you know what else? The 2, peacemaker, mediator, not looking for conflict, often the social worker. You have the ability to take 2 people having trouble with each other and then finding a way to resolve the conflict. So I love that idea. I love that idea. Yes, these numbers also point to if you wanted to be an actor, why not? Your 7 is the chameleon. You can become anything you want. And the 2 is, has that sensitivity enough for people to be drawn to you. But I still like counseling the best. And nursing, it depends on who you're nursing. What kind of home is it? Like, is it a nursing home? Because, of course, you just can't beat 7-2 for helping other people. But if you pushed me up against the wall, it's in Mccants, you can only give me 1, counseling. I think you'd be an amazing counselor. So thank you for your question. Now we're going to grab Sharon, but Sharon's going to get her act together because, there she is looking at the camera because she's just going to be so ready for this. And we'll talk to Vanessa first before we bring her on. Vanessa, fill me in.
I know what you're talking about, 100%. Okay, so I've got 2 birthdays for you, Glynis. Sharon's birthday is 5/9/1963. Okay. And Sharon's mother's birthday is 7/22/1937. Mm-hmm. And Sharon wants to, basically, she's just asking how she can have a better relationship with her mom. She constantly criticizes her. And she just can't take it any longer. She's successful, independent, well-adjusted person, and she never gives her compliments, ever.
Right. That's gorgeous. And it's very much in the numbers. We should write a song.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Yeah. I put my hat on.
Take that hat off, Glynis. Take it off. All right. Bringing her in. Hi, Sharon. Okay, so Sharon. Yes. Let's be clear. What's your mom's first name? I do need that.
Marion, Marion.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Your mother has a habit of acting like it's your problem. In other words, if you get upset or you feel defensive, she's like, that's on you. I didn't do that. Mm-hmm. How true is that?
Yes. She doesn't think I told her straight out, you never say you're proud of me. You never give me. I am proud of you.
Yes. So here's the thing. I believe your mother is proud of you, but your mother is a tremendous amount of work because I call her the human turtle. She goes in her shell and you have to work real hard to get her to come out. And you, if we're talking karmically, you're really the mother in this story, not your mom. You mother your mother. How true has that been?
I don't...
Think of, do you take care of your mom? Do you try to be nice? Do you try to help her? Do you try to help your mother?
No.
Interesting. So that is a problem. If that's true, because the 6th life path, which is mother energy, that's you. It's one thing to feel resentful, like your mom's not supportive in the way you'd like her to be, but you're telling me you never step up to make her life better.
We are totally estranged, and it's been very long.
Okay, so guess where that's coming from? That's not your birth date numbers. Like the 9-6 and the 4-4, That's not it. It's your attitude number. You have a 5 attitude. She has a 2 attitude. Those numbers are incredibly toxic. Like they just butt heads. But
Yeah.
I would bet money that your mom thinks you're being tough on her. And I would bet your mom feels
Yeah.
like she didn't do anything wrong. She doesn't understand what's wrong with you regarding her.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the 2-5. So what I tell people is I'm about to teach this. I'm going to be doing like a numerology little workshop on November 11th. You might keep that in mind for an online workshop, because I want to explain that sometimes you can have a life path that's compatible, but if your attitude number is a challenge, it's really hard to just coexist. Like she rubs you the wrong way.
Right.
That's what it is.
I can't even talk to her anymore. Every phone call is me. Oh, I just want to throw the phone across the room.
Okay. So again, if you can remember, because the whole point of understanding numbers, if you could stop and go, okay, my mom's oversensitive. So my mom's already ready to kind of be defensive or rude or something to me. She will not give me what I want, which is so stupid because she really should. But your mom is playing like a wounded puppy. She's acting like, no, it's not me. I am supportive. I love her, but she won't give it up. So you have a 5, which means you'll put up with a lot, and then you're out the door. You remember I talked about the cat? You've got that cat energy of I'm gone, and yet you feel bad. You can't tell me how often you kind of think about your mom in that relationship. What does it pop in your head?
The thing is, every time I just bought a new condo less than a year ago, and I was telling her about it. You think she could be excited for me? You think she could say something nice?
Yeah.
I mean, my
Yeah.
mechanic actually said, I have a mechanic that I've been going to for like 20 years. He's like, I'm so proud of you. And I remember when he said that to me, I'm like, oh my God, my mechanic says this to me, and my mother has never said this to me.
And yet, because you're talking to me, Glynis Mccants, if you said, Glynis, is my mother proud of me? Does she appreciate my independence and what I do? The answer is yes.
Why
That's the sad part.
does it though? Why does
Can't do it. She talks about you to other people. Who's in her life? Who else knows? Who else does she talk about? Or excuse me, who does she talk to in her life?
Who does she talk to?
Yeah, does she have any friends?
You know, I don't know. I don't know.
When did you last know? Let's go years back. Your mother and friendships. Does she have any friends that you know about?
No, she doesn't really have a lot of friends.
Well, she's very selective, but I need you. There's a saying, every action has a reaction. If you're willing to act differently with your mom, I promise you'll get a new response. And I mean that. You
How
just
do I
got to
act differently
go
though?
ahead. What?
How do I act differently? I have a new condo and I tell her about it.
Because you keep assuming that just by telling her, look what I've done, that she'll say bravo, but she never did. So that's not her style, but it doesn't mean it's not true for her. You got to know that your mom's limited. You know, when I talk about love, Sharon, I said love is within you, right? So example, are you in a relationship? What's your story?
No. That's
See?
that's another whole. I've asked you about this in previous
Readings or shows. Okay, but here's the thing. Again, a 5 would rather stay alone than suffer. Like there's a fear. What if I invest? What if I give my heart and they break it? Right? Because you've got that in your chart. But I'm saying, I keep feeling like yoga, meditation, affirmation. Do you do any of that?
Oh my God,
Sincerely.
I love yoga.
Yeah.
I do affirmations.
When you do them, how long do you do them?
Okay, back when you remember you said the universe is open at 11:11?
Yes.
I used to set my alarm, and I used to do this twice a day. I had a relationship affirmation that I used to recite.
Yes.
I did that for a really long time, and I got to tell you, I stopped doing it. How long do you have to do it? Like a year?
Okay. You know, my background's comedy, and if I imitated you right now, you'd die. Okay, I'm going to tell you what a wonderful comedian once said. Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is my favorite joke. She was like this. She goes, you know, so maybe you go on a date and you really like the guy. And you're like, oh my God, he never called me. Why didn't he ever call me? She goes, would you call you?
Yes, I am a fabulous person.
Right. So now we need to embrace, if I'm a fabulous person, I'm not going to even wonder, like, I'm not going to look for, it would be like if I were dealing with 100 people and 99 loved me, but one didn't. I'm like, why aren't you listening? Why don't you care? I don't care about that person because I realize, okay, it's not for them. Just like your mom. My mom's limited, but my mom loves me in the way that she can, and it's not enough. And I think it's made it harder for you to find healthy love because she happens to be your mother. You understand that?
Can I tell you something? When you
Sure.
that gentleman that reads auras on,
Yes.
he
Yes.
he did me, and this is when I started to realize I always knew something was off with me and my mom. And after he read me, I thought she's been criticizing me my whole life. I guess I just didn't have the words what it was, but
Okay. How about this idea? A 4 is very critical of themselves. They never think they're good enough. So you came out of her. How the heck are you good enough? If she's not, how can you be? Now, a healthy mama would want you to be better than her, right? She'd want you to fly high, but your mom doesn't know how to do that. So she's so caught up in her own insecurities, she won't give you anything. See, so don't look for crumbs. Let's look for a full cookie, and let's stop looking at it for your mom. But you know what I always say? She gave birth to you, and you exist. And if you sincerely think you're a fabulous person, then she gave birth to a fabulous person. How about we give her credit for that?
what are we supposed to talk about then on the phone?
Well, when she talks, what does she talk about? What does she talk about?
Um, you know what she's oh, the last phone call, she's like, you live in Chicago, such a nice city. Don't you do anything fun? Like every time she asks me something, it's a negative
No, no, no.
point.
That's how you hear it. I don't hear that. Your mom has a voice that bothers you, for starters. Your mother's voice bugs you. Her delivery bugs you. Okay. So she's already in trouble. But she really sincerely, and said she should have rephrased it to say, what do you do that's fun? But she
Yeah,
doesn't have that. Okay. So I'm just asking you, Sharon,
yes.
I need you to stop expecting from someone what they don't even know how to give. They don't even know how to give it to themselves. And then I want you to continue working on you because I'd like to see you in a healthy relationship. I'd love that for you. You'd be much, much happier, really.
How
And
do,
you're capable.
how do I work on myself? I
Well, what did I say? What, like you said, you work on affirmations, but 1111 was never going to be enough for you. I mean, listen, if I did affirmations from my family of 13 I was raised in, if I didn't do the stuff that I do, I wouldn't be me today. No way. And now I've done it so much that I wouldn't even know how to not to, like how to turn it off. You see? So my answer is take some workshops. Like, I have my stuff, numbercity.com. Look at some stuff that I offer and start working on you. Really commit to this. Commit to it daily. 15 minutes a day.
I
Affirmation. Releasing those negative thoughts. How about as simple as I release all negative thoughts
yes.
and all is well in my world.
Mhm.
Those phrases matter. I release all negative thoughts and all is well in my world because you'd love that world. Like, I know you want joy, but so often you look at what you didn't get as opposed to all that you do get. Okay. So that's it for now. I got to click off. We've
Oh,
got other people, but
okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. So where am I at? I'm looking at my little time. And guess what? I'm going to do some quick reads on our board here. So go ahead and do a quick submission. And then I'm going to pop up for now. But hey, spread the word. I am only doing live to YouTube events for you. You are my audience. If you want to stay involved, you should go to numbercity.com. You can see it on the ticker. Sign up for the free newsletter. Always know where I am, what I'm doing, and we'll work together and work on healing our lives, just like what just happened. Sharon, she was a prime example. The 9-6 double fours, no matter what, they can be ball busters. Just no getting around it. However, that wasn't their problem. The problem was the 2-5 attitude. And that's why you want to understand, where is the conflict coming from? Okay? All right. Let me scroll down here. I'm coming through all the way down. Okay. There's a guy named Keith Fletcher who we love. I don't see his question, but he's such a diehard. And Keith, I just want you to know, we sure appreciate that you're always there. And he really pays attention. Like he said, hey, I love that one. It's so beautiful. And I'm sure he's talking about affirmations and the difference that they make. All right. And this one, yes, I was going to say that. Yeah, that's a good one. I'm going to pop it up. Vanessa put that for you because she cares. I release all negative thoughts and all is well in my world. I release all negative thoughts and all is well in my world. You got to let it go because harboring it gets you nowhere. And you know, that phrase, it's hard to change people. Well, you can't even change you. So how can you change them? Look at it that way. Okay. All right. What else? Doing a real quick one here. I'll try this. What is this? What can I expect this year? Thank you in advance. Okay, a guy named George, 11/28/1972. So he's born with a 3 attitude, born on a 1 day, and a 4 life path. So George, keeping it simple, you've entered a personal year of 1, and 1 is about you deciding it's time to get in my driver's seat. Where do you want to go, George? What are the goals? What do you want to achieve? Do you want to work on finance? Do you want to work on your physical body? Do you want to work on your spiritual health? This is the year to get started because 1 is the beginning of 9 years that are coming up. So use that to your advantage. And thanks for the question. And now I'm going to say for now, this is Numerologist Glynis Mccants. Visit numberslady.com and also visit us on, well, actually, if you just go to Numberslady, you can see right where I am. Instagram, Facebook, all of these places, I keep them alive and active to help you with your life. And I'm going to let Vanessa say goodbye because she's the birthday girl tomorrow. Vanessa, you're on.
Bye, everybody. Great session as always. I loved it. I loved every bit of it. It was fun.
Thank you. And again, happy birthday to Vanessa. Give her a shout out. Thank you. I cut her off because I'm good at it. All right, you guys, ending the stream for now. But again, starting to do shows more often. Follow this YouTube channel. If you subscribe and notify, you're going to always know when I'm live. And then you can get an answer to your question. All right, I'm ending the R stream.